Welcome everyone, and thank you for being here today. I would like to take a moment to introduce and thank the dignitaries who are here to join us. Mr. and Mrs. Jenkins, Mr. Noe, Ms. Cadigan, Ms. Lawson, Ms. Anderson, Mr. Principe, Frank Wolf, the Manassas City Council member, our CXO, Chris Martino, Michelle Robel, our County Attorney, Senator Barker, and Delegate Rome. Thank you all for being here, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you all for being here today. I want to thank you most importantly as we gather here in honor of the memory of the men and the women who lost their lives on this fateful day 17 years ago. We all also remember the family, the friends, and the co-workers that they left behind. It is heartwarming to have so many of you here to join us in this remembrance today. Every day that we drive by this memorial, we are drawn to this flag that flies here, the symbol of our nation that it holds within its pride, respect, and honor that binds us together as Americans. We are all taught the Pledge of Allegiance at an early age. We memorize it, and we say it so easily that at times we say it without even thinking about it, without feeling the emotion behind it. The pledge is a declaration of respect for our country, as it is a declaration of unity and determination. We are one nation, indivisible, and that unity and determination was on full display when this nation came together in the events after 9/11. So please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance as we reflect upon it and what it means to be an American, especially today. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As we stand here together today, we stood together on September the 11th as we felt the shock, the horror, and the pain of what was happening to our brothers and sisters in New York and Pennsylvania and in Arlington, felt the shock, the horror, and the pain of what was happening to our country. We stood together to provide support, companionship, and comfort to try to help heal the wounds that were cut so deeply that day. We stood together as Americans. And we stood together as a community. We lost 22 people from Prince William County that day. That's more than any other region in the metropolitan area. To remember these local heroes, the community came together to build this memorial, a place where we can honor and remember those lost and hopefully find some peace. We built this memorial to remind us of what occurred on September the 11th. The shape of the reflecting pool and the walkway recall those lost at the Pentagon. The two columns of water in the fountain represent the thousands of lives lost at the World Trade Center in New York City. The stone that encircles the fountain is Pennsylvania flagstone, a tribute to those who died in Pennsylvania. The single stone to the left of the plaque is an original limestone block from the collapsed portion of the Pentagon. The flagpole standing is the one that James T. Lynch, Jr., who was killed during the attack on the Pentagon, erected at his Prince William County home. And across the street is a sculpture made out of steel beams from the World Trade Center, which shows the resilience of the American people, even when faced with such tragic circumstances on our own soil. The United States lost nearly 3,000 people that day: fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, children, aunts, uncles, friends, and co-workers. We also lost our sense of security and safety. But we came together to become even stronger and more united in who we are as a nation, indivisible. Many of those lost in New York City that day were first responders. They were saving each other's lives at the expense of their own. The Fire and Rescue Service, as a tradition, to honor and respect those who made the ultimate sacrifice while trying to save others. Before there were telephones and radios, fire departments used the telegraph to communicate. When a firefighter died in the line of duty, the fire alarm, the forerunner of today's 911 call centers, would tap out a special signal, 555. 5 measured dashes and then a pause, 5 measured dashes and then a pause, and then 5 more dashes. This became known as the tolling of the bell. The Fire and Rescue Service continues this honored tradition today. Lieutenant Jeff Howdy-Shell of the Prince William County Fire and Rescue Department will now ring the bell in honor and remembrance of all the victims of September the 11th. I will now read the names of our fallen Prince William community members whose names are inscribed on this fountain. Sergeant First Class John J. Chatta, United States Army, retired. Petty Officer Third Class Jamie L. Fallon, United States Navy. Amelia V. Fields. Lieutenant Colonel Robert J. Himmel, United States Air Force, retired. Sergeant Major Lacey B. Ivory, United States Army. Judith L. Jones. David W. Lachik. James T. Lynch, Jr. Jean E. Malloy. Robert J. Maxwell. Molly L. McKenzie. Craig J. Miller. Diana B. Pedro. Rhonda S. Rasmussen. Edward V. Rowenhorst. Judy Rowlett. Donald D. Simmons. Jeff L. Simpson. Cheryl D. Sincock. Chief Information Systems Technician Greg H. Smallwood, United States Navy. Sergeant Major Larry L. Strickland, United States Army. Sandra L. White. Please join me in a moment of silence to remember all of the fallen. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for standing together once again as a community that honors and remembers those who we lost that day, September the 11th. September the 11th continues to be a day that unites us. The passage of time only solidifies our determination to always remember so we never forget. After the playing of taps, please feel free to place your flowers on the memorial and stay as long as you would like for a quiet time of reflection.